But those grandkids, it is,
It's just all
yeah,
joy.
it is. It
You
is. They
know,
crack
so
me up.
the dysfunction of being human, I guess, is what we're talking about. To be
Mm,
clear, with our kids, but I mean,
yeah.
to be adults, I should say,
Right.
it's formidable.
Yeah.
And it reminds me that wow, I guess we did go through a lot of that. But as parents now at this age, it's still stressful to kind of accompany them through the
Right.
things that
Right.
that adults go through.
But don't you think our parents were the same?
That's
How
the
many
thing.
times they did they do face palms over decisions that we made or didn't make
Yeah.
or that they didn't like, you
Yeah,
know?
we didn't have health insurance at one
Right,
point,
right,
right?
right.
And
Or life insurance, had car insurance.
right, because they had
Barely.
to, right? Speaking of mandates, that's a good thing.
Right.
But then we moved to Paris with
Yeah, we
four kids,
did.
and with four kids, moved to Paris, and
Who were
so
all in private school.
right,
Yeah,
so our parents are like,
I know.
so again, the face
Yeah.
plant, you know, we are now getting to live a life that people dream about, like
Yeah.
you know, we have a house that's not uh, extravagant, but it's big enough, you know, to have all of our kids here at once,
Yeah.
if that were to happen, and all of our
Right.
grandkids.
Right.
Um, and it's happened a few times, especially during the pandemic. We talk about a little bit about that, but
I was about to say that.
but
Yeah.
like we have two cars at this point, one, but we'll have another one pretty soon. The idea that living the American dream from a materialistic point of view, it's so far fetched because I blow a horn for a living. And
Right.
there's a whole lot of people who do that
Yeah.
better than me, as good as me, etc., who and with whom I'm in quote unquote competition, right?
Mm.
So to eke out that living and to have put those kids because blah, 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 and here we are. But the thing that we have that's been constant is each other.
Yeah. Yep. 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 I was about to say something and I can't remember what it was. You know, when you look at us meeting at 14 and
Mm.
15 and just our backgrounds, let's just take our financial backgrounds.
Mm.
You came from kind of plenty.
Upper middle class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did not.
No.
You know, but you used to say to me all while we were dating, you said one day when you went to study in Paris at
At 19.
19,
Yeah. Which
and
is
we,
4 years after we met. Because,
right, you would say to me, one day I'm going to take you there. One day we're going to live there. And I believed you. You know, that's the thing. I believed you.
yeah.
And I think that's a part of it. You know, you were confident and
Yeah.
I had confidence in you.
Yeah.
You know, and we could probably say either way, both
Yeah.
sides. You could say
Absolutely. Yeah.
vice versa is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. And I think that's a big part of it, you
Mm-hmm.
know, is the confidence, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that you exuded. You come from a line of men with confidence,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes too much confidence, but
You're going into the ego area,
right,
arrogance.
right. But and our sons have that too.
Yeah.
You know, they have that too, and I like that because
Mm-hmm.
A is what I'm accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that helped us a lot. You
Mm-hmm.
know, on the journey. Like I look back, I feel like I'm jumping around. There's just so much to say. Take for por ejemplo, when our kids were in college, you know, we were fortunate enough to all but the last one to pretty much pay, excuse me, cash for their college, except
Yeah.
for the last year
Yeah.
of three. They all, and I'm not bragging because
Mm.
I'll get to the end of this. They had apartments, they had cable, they had cars, used cars.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. They had this, they had whatever, and we were sending them allowances. And I look at our salary back then, which was probably less than it is now,
Yeah.
and I honestly just go, how is that even a thing? You know, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, but we confidently plowed through, you know, and we didn't miss a beat,
Yeah.
you know, but it is quite miraculous. And I know there are lots of other couples listening to this or couples listening that know other couples that go, yeah, I get that. You just look at what you have accomplished, what you've done, and it boggles the mind. That's how I know there is a God. Because it's not us.
That's the perfect segue because you and I grew up as Christians. I came to faith the same year I met you. Like really came to faith. I was raised in church as a pastor's kid and all of that, but came to faith at 15. You probably somewhere around that time.
BTU, all of that.
Yeah. Our confidence has always been in him. Like, we got the message at a certain point, especially from my dad and mom, that we should tithe.
Right.
And it was a imperative in the sense that you don't want to live your life on that page, not just automatically putting your finances in God's hand, which is what tithing is. It's like it says by virtue of this 10%, it's not a rule, but I want to make sure, I want to know that the 100% is covered, that when things happen, if he allows us to go into poverty, it was because that was what he wanted.
Right.
But it wasn't because we were holding back. So, I guess just speak a little bit to the faith journey that we have together, that people say, well, how do you make it, to be married 41 years and to, have been together 48?
Right.
Confidence in him.
Right. Absolutely. It is a journey, right? And it's a growth thing. One of the beautiful things for us being with someone starting out so young, you kind of raise each other.
Yep.
And so, and you sort of help one another grow and get to wherever you are. And it's a process, and we're still in the middle of the process and all that stuff. But I can remember being in college and being excited to walk. We had to walk to church. We didn't have cars, not one car. And we would walk to Wheeler Avenue Church in Houston, Texas. Yeah. And there was excitement, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing at Victory in Pasadena, and Strong Tower in Nashville. We've lived a lot of places. But there is just to grow together, to study together, to say this is what this scripture means to me, or you're much deeper thinker than I am sometimes. But I'll put it this way. You're not a much deeper thinker. You're a way more serious person than I am. And so to get your take on some things, it really means a lot to me, because I trust you. I value your opinion. I believe you say the same thing because I'll come up with some you can do things and have pondered things and get it immediately. It takes me a minute. I kind of have to sit with it, But as far as our journey together and that confidence, I know we couldn't have paid those college tuitions. We couldn't have paid whatever, we couldn't. Our son couldn't have been saved from that truck falling or 18-wheeler falling over on his vehicle and all the other many accidents he's had. There's one child that's had numerous accidents, but he's never met a car he hasn't wrecked.
No, not so far.
But
he has a 100% record.
Right, and I know if we didn't have our faith, if we didn't have the confidence that we have in God, we would have lost our minds a long time ago. We see people all around us who don't. We see them crumble.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I want to bring that up. That
I keep bringing up what you're going to bring up. That's because we know each other.
That's one of the things that I marvel at. That we are still standing. That so many started out alongside us, and so few are still.
We make that comment all the time. I will run down a list of people that we grew up way back in the day when none of us had anything. And some people who have a lot now that people would know,
Yeah.
but they don't have that spouse
Yeah.
that they were with, and it really is, the few. It's really few
There's so
that we
very
can
few.
count on our hands.
Especially like we lived in Hollywood, as it were,
Yeah.
with my career, and boy, oh boy, it's
Yeah.
just decimated.
I mean, we just did that the other day. I'm like, do you realize that so
Yeah,
and
we
so,
went
so
through
and
this
so?
whole
We went
list.
through a whole list, and people that we still love.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say still, that we love.
Yeah.
That are in our lives now.
Yeah, still have relationships
Yeah,
with.
and I will say this as well. Some get it right way later in life, and that's okay,
Yeah.
for them. They finally,
Right, yeah.
get it right. But for us, it's been a different story.